to Sabor Astrology with T and Shay, a podcast for the soul. Today, we'll be talking about the current cosmic energies. And without further ado, I'd love to pass the taza to T for the transits of the week. Welcome, T.
Good morning. Welcome, Shayla. I say good morning. I always say, because we're in the morning. This is the morning. You can see the sun shining behind me. Welcome everybody to our podcast. We have lots to talk about, lots going on this week. First thing I'm going to talk about is that Mars is entering Aquarius, and that's going to be on the 13th at 1:05 a.m. So my thoughts about this is this brings in a time where we are assertive, we strive confidently towards social reform, and we can be guided from the winds as to where we should head toward on our next endeavor. Aquarius, brings that energy where we just hear what it is. We don't even know how we get this information, but Aquarius just sort of brings it to us. So this heralds a time of freedom of expression, and our passions are underscored by a heady mix of intellectualism and daring. So that's what I've got.
Beautiful. And it brings in collective consciousness and humanity becomes a driving force with Mars being in the sign, the warrior planet, as it remains in Aquarius until March 22nd. So we'll be experiencing some type of driving force for the bigger good of the world. So we might feel like, oh, we want to partake in this specific cause. We want to invest in this particular group of people. And the flavor of this energy feels erratic. It could feel a little bit off because we're looking for freedom. We're looking for pursuits in our freedom, and how can we express that? It portrays the greater defender of the underworld. So the world, pretty much, the people that are not in higher power, we're being defended, we're being protected here with Mars and Aquarius. And maybe we'll have leaders speaking on behalf of the underdog. And then we also have this decision, again, this kind of these scales to be in freedom or not to feel free. So these two things come in with Mars and that sign. And celebrities with this placement include Emily Clark, which is Daenerys from Game of Thrones, Scarlett Johansson, and Michelle Fairley. She was also part of the Game of Thrones series. So these are some of the people with this placement in their chart.
That's great. I had no idea. That's good. I'm glad you thought of that. All right, so the next transit we're doing is Sun in Aquarius squares Uranus in Taurus, and that's from the 7th to the 9th. So I see this as a time where there can be some disruption between yourself and those of others. It doesn't matter if you're the one that's irritable or if the people around you are the irritable ones. Just be aware of these energies, and you'll be able to decide where you want to put your energies. Like, you don't have to fall into that particular irritability, that disturbance, that it's like not comfortable feeling and an uncomfortable feeling. I suggest not trying to keep a complicated schedule. Instead, try to pare down the things that you want to do to keep things simple. Um, because if, with Uranus, if disruption is going to happen, like, why make things too complicated for yourself to begin with? There are some things you have control of, and there's some things that energetically, nature-wise are going to happen. But, you don't need to be in the place where you totally get thrown off your center. And also try not to ego trip during this transit with the sun in Aquarius, Uranus and Taurus. Like, keep it simple, keep it centered, keep it flowing smoothly.
I like the smoothness because we need that, right? When Uranus is like the big waves in the ocean and needing to calm those waves down. With this transit, there's also a big need to dig deep within who we really are in the greater world without the constraints of society. So meaning looking at ourselves outside of what we've been limited and we've been told. Also, our false sense of self begins to peel off if we choose to, right? We choose to really be honest with ourselves or honest with the bigger good of things. Like, is it aligned? Is it aligned? Does it feel right? Does it feel truthful? And learning how to get uncomfortable with it is gonna feel uncomfortable. It's gonna feel like it's gonna push us. There's frustration, but there's also chances to learn how to accept change. to cut off the excess. And situations might also appear out of nowhere. Again, the wave, right, that can come up in this time, and learning how to rock your boat, balance your boat during this time. And that,
Yeah, and as you get to know your own charts, like some of us need to fight the fight, some of us need to step back from the fight, right? Like so you get to know how to handle the energies, for yourself as an individual. So the next thing we're going to do is talk about Mercury in Aquarius. There are two transits that are happening. One is where it squares Jupiter in Taurus on the 9th, from the 9th to the 10th, and also where it conjuncts the Sun in Aquarius from the 12th to the 13th. So the first one, we just talked about this possibly irritating, disruptive transit. And this is a little bit more favorable here, right? Your thoughts, discussions, they all lean toward a higher goal that can have a fortuitous streak with Jupiter, this planet of expansion. However, be cautious in the details if you're creating blueprints, outlines, notes. Know what you've got. Be detail oriented. You don't have to be, this like idea of largesse. I know I've got it all. Yes, you may, but sometimes the details are the things that stick us. Yeah, so you may be thinking, yeah, I've got this, I know this, but try not to listen to your ego too much. Be cautious. That's my thought about it. And then we go into the second one with the conjunct Sun in Aquarius. How I saw it was the image I got was that old-fashioned light bulb above your head, right? And it's suddenly the light is getting even shining even brighter. And Mercury in this placement close to the sun brings the light that you need to illuminate those ideas that have been rambling around in your head. Because these planets are in Aquarius, I'd say to be aware of the larger ramifications of your issues, your actions that may be visible in a larger way in the world. Reread correspondences before you send it out to others. Your ideas can be noted. You might be receiving some positive feedback or getting some correspondence back to yourself. That's not what you expected. That's actually a little bit higher than you expected. Like maybe someone takes note of you. That's what I'm seeing is this, Mercury is here. Mercury is going fast. Mercury is talking to us, and we've got the sun there. So, it's quickness, it's light, it's intellect, it's awareness, and how can you use that to your highest good and for those around you, because this is all in Aquarius.
beautiful, beautiful. You bring so many good points for us to use it practically in these transits. And the story that came up with both Mercury and Aquarius, square Jupiter, and conjunct the sun is it brings this flavor in conversations and moving through worldly struggles, like the struggles that we're going through on a larger scale, but also on the individual platform. The question that came out while I was preparing specifically the story behind these two transits was, where do we begin to help and how can we ask for help? It's this kind of two-way street of asking for that help that we need, because we're thinking about collective consciousness. And this can show up in ways that we're sharing our abundance, ideas, and love for others, holding important conversations with others surrounding radical transformation, especially with Mercury in Aquarius squaring Jupiter like this. There is this need for this radical transformation to happen, and it will only open up or can open up if we are receptive to it. Remember this two-way street. So receiving and also allowing and also giving.
I love that. Yeah. So then we come to Venus in Capricorn, and Venus trines Uranus in Taurus from the 6th to the 8th. Then she conjuncts Mars in Capricorn from the 9th to the 10th, and then she's moving towards sextiling Neptune from the 12th to the 13th. So this is like boom, 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 right? Venus in Capricorn trining Uranus and Taurus can bring something electric. It can bring different kind of energy to you. So it's a good time to be aware of doing something different or something new coming into your life. Venus in this form is committed, she's disciplined, she has the power to do what is not particularly liked, or people don't find it sexy, or it's just like she can, like, grind that stone. She can make that. I don't know, I'm thinking about kneading yeast to make bread. I'm also seeing, making the masa to make some
Mm,
tortillas, like she can be there. She can grind it because she knows something's good's going to come out of it. This transit brings a disturbance or an unexpected action. It's in the house that Venus rules, right? In Taurus. She doesn't usually love commotions, but because it's a trine, it may actually bring something that's enjoyable. When she conjuncts Mars in Capricorn, here I see Venus is sitting next to Mars. I see this as equals who can discuss what the possibilities are. The yin and the yang are here to form a whole, and they're aware of the larger sense of harmony.
mm,
Neither needs to win because they are both in their power. Can work this out if they're willing to put the work in that's necessary. And that means you, and that means me. Because it's in Capricorn, these energies are in Capricorn, it's a time to be analytical toward fruition of a plan. And this is a favorable transit. I'm thinking look to a figure who's going to enter your life, either of yin or of yang composition. Don't be fooled by looking at male, female, or non-binary. Don't get caught up with that. Feel the energy. What is receptive? What is assertive? What is giving? What is receiving? Again, it's the same thing that you're talking about. It's the polarities
mm.
of energies. It's like
Yeah.
really coming strongly through in this particular reading of our cosmos. Then the final is when Venus in Cap sextiles Neptune in Pisces. It seems like give that part of yourself a little of more attention in terms of what are your favorite artistic endeavors? Do you
Mm.
like to go to museums? Do you like to go to John's, to galleries? Do you write poetry, or do you like to listen to spoken word? This can be a romantic time that's needed, right? We're living in doldrums most of the time, many of us, right? Some of us, I can only speak for myself, work, 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 this Taurian work ethic. But which comes from having an agenda, right? Venus and Capricorn, there's that agenda and you stick to it. But use these last, the 12th to the 13th. I think it's, during a Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday. Take that time, go out after work, go to that, hit that gallery that's down the block, and do something that's enjoyable.
Beautiful. I love that. We have to enjoy this all moments that we can, right? The snippets of times that we have. And to add an additional flavor of these Venusian transits, again, it's a story. It could be as sweet as candy cane or dulce de coco. So if you're from Puerto Rico, the Caribbean, you know what that is. All surrounding our most intimate relationships and development of fresh ones. Specifically, we're integrating this renewal, these older relationships, and thinking about them in the long term, because we're speaking about Capricorn. Capricorn wants long term, it wants hard work, is ruled by Saturn, and it wants us to commit. So there could be some form of commitment. Maybe we'll meet someone, right? Like T mentioned, we have to feel that energy, know that this person could be for the long term. And this is not romantically, this could be like a partnership, a really good friend that comes in, or it could be a snippet of time where it's 2 seconds you're talking to someone, right? If you live in New York City in the MTA, that could be something that will help you on the long term. So every connection we make with someone is supposed to be for us to enjoy during these transits. There can also be a lot of shifts, which is great for meeting others that teach us how to be in a receptive state. So we might have people that come in and give us a hand, right? They help us with something. Maybe it could be something small, a bit of intimate connection with someone. So use this time to, again, like T mentioned, go out into that gallery, do something, change your paths. If you take path A to the train, right, the MTA, take path maybe Z during this time. Enjoy the elements around us. That's what Venus wants us to do. It wants us to be in that pleasure state. And she's in favorable transits here and connections. So this would be great for us to explore use as a pillow to relax and enjoy the time that we have.
I love it. I'm laughing because you said don't take path A, you could take path Z. And I was ready for you to say take path B. I'm like, I'm not ready for Z. I can go to B, but I don't know about Z. I love it. That's really being daring. I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. All right, the last transit that we're going to talk about here is Mars in Capricorn sextiles Neptune in Pisces, and that's from the 6th to the 8th. This may be a time where you're evaluating what you've been doing, where your motivation and your drive has been, and you may decide to do something with more of a spiritual bent to it.
Mm.
Only you know where your sense of artistry lies, and this is a great transit for you to take time to explore it. I'm not suggesting that you destroy everything that you've done before. It's not like you have to push it all aside, but you may be feeling somewhat inspired to be dreamy, to do something different with your energies. And I don't know, like I got the vision of, putting on a French beret and exploring other dreamlike areas in your life. It's just the imagery of it, of having that artistry of walking, along the Seine, that sort of thing. Remember that you too are allowed to dream, to follow your dreams, and to watch them take form in your life.
Beautiful. And Neptune always bring in that dream, that I feel like again, it's like that softness in our pillow. It's like the fabric. With the story here with the Mars interplaying with Neptune and Pluto, because like I'm gonna connect the stories here. It is all about alignment. So as I was preparing, I kept getting the message. It's all about alignment, Shayla. It's all about people aligning right now. It comes with a power to really defend a position or idea that we have for the highest good. But it can also be something where we have to defend ourselves in a positive way, where we're standing true to the core and something that we truly believe. We might even find an agreement with being made, that we make an agreement with someone or something that's for the higher, that comes from the hierarchy. So for instance, it doesn't always have to be politicians. It could be people like someone that works at your job, making a important agreement and defending you while at it. And this can be a good placement, a good opportunity to aid people, to even aid yourself. So I'm getting from all of this, because Pluto's interplaying with, again, Mars here. This is always about that they can kind of work together, but at the same time, I feel they can butt heads, even though these are very positive aspects. So it's important to find the middle ground with both coming together into play. I'm getting a lot of people have a lot of truths that they want to find out about themselves, or will hear people talk about. Take what resonates and what doesn't, leave it to the side. Not everything that is said, it is for you or for us. It could be for another moment.
Great. So that's what we've got. That's our talk on our transits for the week. So what will you be doing, Shayla?
So as usual, on the weekends, the Saturday, Sunday, I will have my books open for in-person sessions, readings, as well as phone and virtual sessions. So feel free to contact me. I will be linking that information down below.
I as well, open for readings always, whether spiritual readings, using tarot, using my oracle, Graciela La Gitana, astrology readings, my favorite. So reach out and we'll get to meet each other. I do everything online right now.
So thank you everyone for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, share with the world. And remember to go to our Patreon, where we have exclusive content. We'll be having some new goodies there. So head over there. And thank you all so much. Con mucho, mucho sabor. Sabor Astrology. Thank you everyone for tuning in to Sabor Astrology with T and Shay. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And we will see you on the next one.